between the ministers, corrupt ministers and the Union Carbide, the money will exchange and they will carry on. And because if they close down, and those several thousand people will have to be compensated. So they thought, make a small accident and shut down the damn thing. But that small accident could not be controlled. This is one thing. Some people say that this is chemical warfare. By making an accident, letting the gas leak, they were testing on people. So it's a very dangerous situation. And eventually, they've run away paying compensation which is like peanuts. Even for 9/11, where just 2,000 people died, they paid more compensation to those people than 22,000 people dead by now and so many affected in India. Actually, I have to acknowledge my elder brother, who's 11 years older to me. He was the photographer in the family. And each time we went to meet him, you will see even his suitcases full of films and cameras and magazines. In fact, he'll have no clothes, but all films and cameras and pictures, So, he was a crazy guy, and his photographer friends would come to him and they talk about photographs and they share pictures, look at them, get excited. And I used to wonder, how crazy they are. What's so great about it, going crazy about these pictures. And, one of his friends, who was a very, very gentle and sensitive human being whom I liked, he was going to his village. So he said, why don't you come along with me for a holiday for 2-3 days in a village, not far from Delhi. So I just for fun's sake, I told my brother, I said, give me a camera. I'll also try some pictures. So, first time I go with a small Agfa Super Select camera, with a 50mm lens. And we go to his village, we walk around, meet people. And suddenly, because I was not a photographer, so I was not taking pictures really. The camera was around my shoulder. And then suddenly I saw a baby donkey, very beautiful looking, gentle little creature, Now, I saw that baby donkey. It was so gentle and soft looking little creature that I wanted to take a picture. Now, that was for the first time that I took out a camera. And, I saw through the lens and he looked far away. Because it was a normal lens and I was standing wherever I was standing. So I thought I must go close. The moment I tried to get close to him, he started running, that baby. And then I also started running after him, and there were children, village children. They were all laughing and giggling, looking at me running after the baby donkey. And basically I was having fun. And, the baby donkey kept on running and I also kept on chasing him, for fun's sake.
Yeah.
So after a while the baby donkey got tired and he stood there. So with a normal lens, unless you get this close, you can't take a good close-up. So I took one picture, just like that. And I must have taken few other pictures later, next day, and then I came back, and then my brother looked at the negatives. He said, "Oh, this is very good." What was happening was, it was late evening, the landscape, soft light, and the baby donkey is in the focus, and the landscape is fading in the background. So, he printed that picture, at that time, it was in 67 or so, and at that time, London Times, the newspaper, used to publish half-page picture of, unusual things, of humor, of something different. So they published that picture on half-page. So that was quite a kick for me. That, wow, my brother said, hey man, it's too much, So this is how, I got involved, gradually. And then, you see, I was basically a nature lover and also loved life from the childhood, But when camera came to my hands, the thing was that, when I put my camera here, I could penetrate, I could concentrate through it and see the world more intensely. So I thought this was something good for me. So this is how I started taking pictures for myself. And then my brother joined one of the leading newspapers. And then at that time we thought, yeah, that's a good job also, where you get to meet everybody. You can photograph the Prime Minister, you can photograph the cultural activities, you can see sports, you can see everything. So after maybe, not even a year of photographing, I joined the newspaper. So, now you see my basic training, my basic feeling was shooting for myself, having fun with it. So even when I was shooting for the day, and when it became almost, it was getting dark. So I was sitting, in a village near a pond, big pond, and trees around it. And it was dusk time, it was beginning to get dark and there were clouds. So I was getting this long view of the pond and the trees and the sky with the clouds. Now you see, what I would like to say is that movement in cinema, even in still photography, is precious. And in cinema is obvious thing. But imagine if here you put a movie camera and do nothing. Now what is happening in that evening is that gradually the sky is becoming softer, gentler. The clouds, the sun has set. So the last rays of sun falling on the clouds, the colors are changing. From grey clouds they are becoming slightly warm color and then orangish color. So the camera is still and it's shooting, only the colors are changing. And then they are becoming very orangish. And you can see, because it's late evening and there are so many trees, the ripples on the waters, those were there, they are no more there, they are stopped. And then the birds are coming. Few birds are flying in. Then more birds are flying in. And then groups of birds are flying in and settling down in those trees. So, you can put your camera on a tripod, do nothing about it, take care of your exposure, everything is happening in the space. So the birds are settling down and gradually the colors, those orangish colors are becoming deep grey and back again, and stillness and silence, and it's deep grey and sleep time. So you've done nothing, but the ability to see in total abstraction and minimize the techniques and style and get all that is happening in the space can be so enormous. Imagine if you do just a film, a documentary like this, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? It's meditative, it's very
that
enriches you so much from within.
Soulfulness. No matter which country, which culture, which religion you come from, a soul-touching moment is a soul-touching moment for any human being. And that's where we are all somewhere connected and very closely connected. And that is the purpose of any art form or photography or a piece of writing, that you read it and you are transported into that situation and you are so deeply connected with the fullness and the experience of it all.